What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners video for today's 14-game MLB main slate, courtesy of Osmo.com. Got ourselves a whole bunch of games to close out the weekend, a lot of quality hitting environments around the league, so as always, I'm going to give you guys a chance to win a free month of Osmo Plus. All you have to do right now, like this video, and if you want to win that free month of Osmo Plus, comment your double dong pick down below. Yesterday, we had a bunch of guys getting it right, so join them right now, like the video, and comment that double dong pick to win that free month of Osmo Plus. But for now, let's get on to the top pitching on today's slate. And Walker Buehler going against Arizona should be the top owned option industry-wide. Buehler gets 3.1 implied runs against him, which are slate low, and is expected to be the number one owned pitcher on DraftKings with 25%, on FanDuel with 18%, and on Yahoo with 41%. Buehler has a 29% K rate, pitches fairly deep into games, and has allowed just a 129 ISO going back to last season. So with Arizona a worse team versus right-hand pitching with a middling 91 WRC+, it's a decent spot for Buehler despite their low-ish 21.5% K rate. The ownership seems high for Buehler on a slate of this size with a price tag that high, but he's in a really good spot. Still be inclined to come under the field here and try to find some other guys with strikeout upside at a bit of a cheaper price. And Drew Smyly at San Francisco will also find some ownership today with 4.2 implied runs against him. In particular, Smyly will be number 2 owned on DraftKings with 22%, but will be lesser owned everywhere else that's a little more sane apparently. Smyly has had a few bafflingly resurgent starts, but he still has allowed a 5.5 xFIP and 266 ISO this year. So while San Francisco's pitcher's park should help him out a lot, he remains a no sure thing to bank on. At his price at that park, I get the ownership, but I think San Francisco does have some better hitting than people realize. I'm not inclined to go above the field on Smyly, though I would imagine I will match the field on him. And Steven Strasburg at the Mets should also be a bit popular today with 3.6 implied runs against him. Strasburg will be number 2 owned on FanDuel with 14%, but he'll be number 3 owned on DraftKings with 21%, and on Yahoo with 24%. Strasburg gets a park upgrade for his 29.5% K rate and strong 1.1 whip as well as a 3.2 xFIP, but it's still a decent hitting Mets team with 5 hitters over a 107 WRC+ versus right-hand pitching. Strasburg is one of those guys I'll look to today as a pivot to Walker Buehler. I think he's on a really good spot, and I think he has a better strikeout matchup overall. Now onto our next corner, the top stacks on the slate. And Milwaukee stack going against Colby Allard should be popular today. Milwaukee gets 5.6 implied runs, and Allard has only pitched in the minors in 2019 with a decent 1.4 whip and 21% K rate, but he was awful in a limited MLB stint last year with a 269 ISO and a 2.9 whip allowed. In a power-friendly park, Milwaukee looks appealing with their 191 ISO on the year versus left-hand pitching, even though it does seem unlikely that Allard can be as bad as he looked in his last major league appearances. I don't think Allard is quite as bad as he looked in the majors last year, but it still does look like a good spot to target against him. I do think, though, the spot looks a bit overowned for what we're seeing so far. A Yankee stack versus Sean Reed-Foley will also be popular today with 5.8 implied runs for them. Reed-Foley is a 6.4 exit with a lower 18.2% K rate this year, but he's limited power well with a 2% home run rate and a 4.5% barreled ball rate. The Yankees still have prodigious power with a 215 ISO in a power-friendly park, but with Reed-Foley limiting power and hard contact, they may be a bit overowned based upon their last few monster games with a lot of double donks to go around. It's hard to ever advocate against the Yankees with the power that they have from pretty much everybody in the lineup, but I think it's a spot here where Reed-Foley should be able to limit it decently well, and willing to jump off the Yankees train today on a slate of this size. And a Boston stack versus Jaime Barria should also be popular today with 6.8 implied runs for them, which are a slate high. Barria is a reverse splits pitcher who gets hit hard by right-handed batters with a 234 ISO allowed compared to a 155 ISO allowed to left-handed batters. Boston's prices aren't bad given their 193 ISO and 280 batting average versus right-hand pitching this year, as well as 7 hitters over a 110 WRC+ versus right-hand pitching in their projected lineup. Even though they'll be comparably high owned, I would prefer Boston to the Yankees right now. I think it's a better spot for them going against Barria, a guy who's really given up a lot of power to righties. Now onto our next corner, the lower owned options on the slate, and a Houston stack going against Dylan Bundy is one of those teams. Houston gets 6.3 implied runs, and they get a big park upgrade with Bundy, also allowing a 246 ISO overall going back to last year. Houston has their own 204 ISO versus right-hand pitching on the year, as well as just a 16.9% K rate in their projected lineup. So in a top hitting park on a hot day, this is a stellar spot at less ownership expected than Boston and the Yankees. I like this spot a lot versus Dylan Bundy, even though he does have some strikeout upside. Houston is such a quality hitting team who doesn't give up a lot of easy strikeouts. He has a really good spot to go to them as a pivot to Boston and New York. And Robbie Ray at the Dodgers also interests me with 4.4 implied runs against him. Ray does give up power with a 182 ISO and 10% barrel ball rate, but his 31.2% K rate offers big upside at his price point. Ray doesn't pitch deep into games with some inefficiency along with his strikeouts, but with some ownership expected for the Dodgers, it's a spot with some potential upside, as well as some leverage against the field. The Dodgers are a quality hitting team, but versus a power strikeout left-handed pitcher, I think there are some strikeouts to find in this lineup, and Robbie Ray can find them at lower ownership than some of the other guys. And a Kansas City stack versus Edwin Jackson interests me with the 5.3 implied runs for them. Somehow, somebody decided that Edwin Jackson should start again with his 2.2 whip and 8.3% home run rate allowed on the year, going against a mediocre Kansas City team. Even though they're not great, Kansas City has 5 hitters over a 104 WRC+. They have genuine power in that lineup with Hunter Dozier, Jorge Soler, and Ryan O'Hearn. Someone in this lineup is going to get to Jackson. It might be more of a mini stack situation, but I do think I'm going to have some Kansas City exposure for full stacks, mini stacks, and one-offs because Jackson's going to give up big power and big production to at least one guy, probably several in this lineup. And Julio Teheran at Miami also interests me with the 3.8 implied runs against him. Miami went wild versus Dallas Keuchel yesterday, but Miami is worse versus right-hand pitching with a 125 ISO and 75 WRC plus on the year. Teheran's 5.3 xFIP isn't great, but with a park upgrade, a 2.5% on run rate, and a serviceable 21.2% carried on the year, he can exceed his projection at reasonable ownership today. Teheran's price is up for the good matchup, so I don't want to have a ton of him, but I do think going above the field here makes sense because he should be a fairly safe play with some upside. And now on to our last corner, the one-offs, and Bo Bichette going against J.A. Happ interests me. Happ has allowed a 202 ISO to right-handed batters going back to last year, while Bichette has been stellar on the year overall with a 234 WRC plus and a 453 on base percentage so far. Bichette's getting on base, setting doubles records. He's been a really good hitter, whereas Happ really hasn't shown much this year, and now he's in a worse park. And Yordan Alvarez versus Dylan Bundy is an Astro I like a lot. Alvarez's price is up, so his ownership will be lower than it should, given that he has a 325 ISO and 185 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching, and which should be a stellar hitting situation all around. With that price up, people won't be there as much as they should because Yordan Alvarez has double dong potential on any night, and his spot versus Bundy at Baltimore was a really, really good one for him. And I'm going back to the well for JD Martinez versus Jaime Barria today. Martinez once again let me down like a real jerk yesterday, but he has a 252 ISO with 45% hard contact going against Barria's 5.8 xFIP, a 234 ISO allowed to right-handed batters. It's just a strong spot overall for JD going against a guy in Barria who has a long track record of giving up big righty power. I like the spot for JD quite a bit at a price that's really not that bad. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on today's slate. And that was a lot of games to dig through on a Friday, so show me some support right now and throw a like. And also, if you want to win that free month of Osmo Plus, like the video and comment your double dong pick down below. Yesterday, we had a bunch of guys getting double dongs correctly with a ton of them around the league, and you could see all these guys right here. I'm not going to read all the names today, but you all did a fantastic job, and I'm extremely proud of you. Much like a proud parent sending their child off to a first day at school, you've gotten on the bus and gotten yourself a double dong, and I'm very proud of you. Unfortunately, only one of you can win that free month of Osmo Plus, and the winner is Brian Winstone. So Brian, email me at chris@osmo.com. And for everybody else, I'm sorry, but keep trying here. Unfortunately, the random Excel generator only gives one person the prize, but you can keep winning if you like the video and comment your double dong pick down below. And if you don't want to compete with the frenzied masses who are grabbing double dongs like parents trying to get a toy for their child at Christmas, you can also use this promo code Switch and Hedge for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Get all the ownership projections, the player projections, the deep dive column, the lineup builder, the top stacks tool, a million different things that'll help you make better MLB DFS lineups every single day. So use that promo code Switch and Hedge right now for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'm here with you guys every day. I'm dropping all sorts of content, so go support me right now. Go check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'll be back later today on Live Before Locks, so subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when we go live. And of course, I'll be back on Monday with another Four Corners video. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you all had a great week and a lot of success. And I'll see you guys again soon. Good luck.